for inviting me to participate in the project. It's certainly an honor to do anything to support the foundation as well as students and teachers here in Union County. My name is Michael Reddington, and I am the president of Inquasive. By trade, I'm a certified forensic interviewer and executive resource, and I teach people how to apply strategic and ethical observation and persuasion techniques with the disciplined listening method. I went to college at Southern New Hampshire University, and I studied business. That's after I went to school to study special education because I thought I was going to be a school teacher and a baseball coach. So most of what I have done professionally has been one accident after another. I chose to attend that college because it was local. I'm a New England guy, born and raised, and at that point I didn't know what I wanted to do next professionally. I really enjoyed teaching and had done so, but I had been peer pressured to try some different career fields that I didn't enjoy so much. So I knew I had to do something different, but wasn't sure what it was. So I figured a business degree would be a great place to start and would leave some options open for me. So if the question was how many times have I changed my mind, we could rephrase that to how many times am I still changing my mind? For me, I was not one of those people that grew up always knowing what I wanted to do or figure how I had it all figured out. To answer the university part of that question, my major would have changed at least 5 times to the best of my recollection, and maybe more. As far as professionally speaking, I ended up absolutely nowhere near anywhere that I thought I was going to. In fact, I ended up in a profession that I didn't even know existed. So for me, it's really been more about chasing the opportunities that have been created for me or that I've had the opportunity to create with others as my career evolved. It wasn't about chasing any specific target. Yeah, I've been very fortunate throughout my career with people who have supported me and given me opportunities, whether they hired me for a job that I didn't really have a lot of qualifications for, whether they gave me a promotion maybe before I was technically ready for it, but nobody was looking that could tell them not to, or more importantly, people that have been mentors to me and took time out of their day and their life to share their expertise and their perspective. So early on, I had the opportunity to provide or to work in an internship capacity, really more in the field of special education, which is where I started. So through the Institute on Disability at the University of New Hampshire, really partnering with school systems and children and other support organizations to really learn and impact that field as much as I could starting at a young age. So that would really be where my internship experience came from. But no doubt there is value in chasing down any opportunity we have, official or unofficial, to not just gain specific career expertise, but really insight that we can apply to any field that we might be potentially even considering entering. About the day I did it, that might even be true. I might have known that I wanted to go into the field that I chose after I was already in it, to be honest. Again, for me, a lot of my career development has been chasing opportunities that I was blessed with the opportunity to consider. So really for me, currently owning a business, that wasn't something that I set out to do. It was something that just happened, and being in the field of investigations was not something that I intentionally set out to do. It was an opportunity that I had. So for me, my passions have professionally, my passions have really developed and evolved as my career has developed and evolved. And I feel like, my personal opinion, for a lot of people, it's really important to keep those options open as we progress throughout our careers, because often really exciting opportunities will present themselves if we just keep our eyes open long enough to see them. I've had all kinds of ups and downs, and we might need to do a whole nother video if we're going to talk about regrets. But for me, thankfully, I think it has all worked out very well in the end. I think, people say often that anything worth having is worth working hard for, and the sacrifices we make and the tough times we experience are really what contributes to who we are in the end. And all of those things are true. But really, both the hard times and the good times provide learning opportunities. And sometimes they can be harder to see during the hard times because we're so emotionally invested in trying to overcome where we're at. And they can also be harder to find during the good times because it's very easy to get caught up in the moment and go along with it. So as all of our careers careers progress, whether that's educationally, professionally, with relationships, really staying open to the learning opportunities that we're currently presented with, and never losing track of the people that helped us got here and can help us get through it, are some of the most important takeaways I've had. What would my message be to a high school senior? Work hard, take care of each other, stay safe, be thankful for the opportunities that you have. Don't let anyone ever tell you what you can or cannot do. I'm sitting here supporting the Education Foundation, something that I believe very strongly in, and currently running my own business. I needed to pass an extra math test on the literal last day of school, my senior year in high school, in order to be able to walk in graduation. And I'm willing to bet that if many people from that stage of my life knew where I was now and knew what I was doing now, that it would be a shock to them, to say the least. So I think as a senior in high school, enjoy this time in your life, enjoy this period, because there's a lot of experiences now that you'll look back on fondly. But chase your dreams, take advantage of opportunities as they come. Don't lock yourself into any one thing. Just do the right thing, treat people well, and you'll be surprised what life will likely have in store for you. When I think back to the important skills that I took from my education, I think being educated is likely the most important one. As I look back at my high school and college career, again, I'm not somebody that studied to be an engineer or studied biology or studied for one very specific thing. So just being open to learning and just having that drive to never be satisfied with what you know or never be satisfied with what you do. And also, don't look, this might be the most important, don't look at what you learn as something that is finite, that no piece of information that you ever learn only applies to one situation or one context. And really being able to not only seek information, but to take in information and understand how it might impact you, not now, but later. And for me, I have teachers going back to high school and college that I look back very fondly, and some of the lessons that I learned from them weren't from a formal classroom. It might have been sitting in their office during an advisory session or walking down the hall, or maybe even something they might have said to me during detention, but I won't swear to that. And even when I think about mentors that I've had, it might not have been a formal meeting, but maybe a conversation over dinner or in the car ride to the airport where something they say that might have been a throwaway comment for them really resonated. So being open to learning and maintaining that learning mentality and not compartmentalizing what we learn, I think is really important, no matter our level of education and no matter what we're studying. What does a typical workday look for me? I wish I had a typical workday. So for me, a typical workday could be any number of things. A lot of what I do is teach and provide educational seminars for groups and organizations. So it might mean waking up in a hotel in some other city and remembering what time zone I'm in so I can call and talk to my wife and son, and then go teach for maybe 8 or 10 hours and have dinner with clients and do my day's worth of work from a hotel room at night. A typical office day is likely take my son to daycare, head into the office, and then whether it is create content, record videos, either be interviewed or conduct interviews, client conversations, content creation, those types of things would be probably an average office day for me.